Hello, everybody. It's Samantha Hirsch coming to you from SBB Live. This week, we're focusing on nonprofits here in Sarasota County, and I have the privilege of speaking with Alex Redmond of Parkinson Place. She's going to update us on all that they have to offer and what's going on during COVID times that we all need to be aware of. So, without further ado, Miss Alex Redmond.
Hey, Samantha, thanks so much for having me on the show. And we at Parkinson Place are thrilled to be having a platform to get information out there. Yes, indeed, a lot has changed. And sometimes change pushes us into doing things that we wouldn't normally do. But staying connected when you are living with Parkinson's disease or you are a caregiver is paramount. It is everything, because people are feeling so disconnected from their friends, from other members, and we're a very tight-knit community. So when this first happened and people couldn't get out there, we had phone calls and we had emails, and then we had Zoom. So the first things that we heard were, I could never learn to do this, or I'm not good with technology, or I'm scared. And at a certain point, you have to explain to people that it's not that hard. And you teach them to get online. That was our first mission, was to get everybody connected, whether they connected with Parkinson Place or not. We wanted them to be able to connect with each other and their families. So we taught them, you push on the computer, you go to the Zoom app, zoom.us, and you hit download free app. And once they got on there, we would talk each and every one of them through, this is what you do. You click on the link when we send you in the email, and then you're on, and that's it. But the other thing is that a lot of people have been discouraged when they've gone on Zoom or FaceTime, because very often people will forget to join with video, or they'll forget to join with sound, or they'll be in a dark room with light behind them and you can't see them. So rather than it being something comforting where they can connect, they become even more disconnected because it's not a pleasant experience. So our members have become little Zoom experts. They have been amazing, the women and the men and the caregivers as well. So we've connected them through Zoom. And what I would say is, we were worried that people would not want to stick with the Zoom program, but our classes, our presentations, all of the things, whether it be a verbal presentation or a presentation by a professional or one of our certified instructors, and yes, we are all certified fitness instructors or dance instructors that are working within the PD community. It doesn't matter what we are, but every single one of us has been able to grow these classes and reach out to people. So our classes have been packed, and we started off with 1 or 2 people, and then they invite their friends in. But the members have asked us, even when they get back into Parkinson Place, to continue with the Zoom classes. And unlike many local organizations where we focused on being hyper-local, which we have done always, but through Zoom, the most amazing thing has happened for Parkinson Place, which is a local community asset. But now our snowbirds are still with us. We have people in Asheville. We have somebody that's in Iran. We have somebody that is in France, and we also have people in South Carolina, North Carolina, in New York, in New England. We have them all over the country and the world now joining in. It's amazing. So in a way, we're more connected than we've ever been. So that's one of the great things that's been happening here. And I can even show you a little bit of video if you allow me to share the screen with you, if I can bring that up right here. This is actually, you're first to see it. We're sharing, this is actually one of our fitness classes. And as you can see, and this is just one page. I'm not even going to the next page.
Love it.
There's an arrow there. But the other thing is that If you have a look at this, this is very unusual. Can you see that everybody is doing the exercise? Some people are sitting and some people are standing. That is an amazing thing. And we can come back to this a little bit later. I'll go back to my off screen share. But what I will tell you is that, whoops, are you there? There you are. Okay, so I think one thing that's pretty amazing about Zoom and being able to be so close to everybody that you can watch everybody's form when they're doing the exercise. And if somebody's mind is wandering off, you can bring them back. You can say, okay, John, come back now. I can see that you can lift your arms up. And all of a sudden you reconnect with that person. And as someone that's been a certified fitness instructor for years, 33 years.
Wow.
Yeah, that's something the CEO, get this, here, I got rid of my high heels and I put on my sneakers.
There you go.
You know what? In this day and age with COVID-19, we have to do whatever it takes to keep our members engaged. So one of the things is that you have to be able to look around the room, even if you're teaching, whether you're teaching in a fitness facility where, you know, we accommodate up to 70, 80, 100 people in a class, or the 50 people that we may have in one of our Zoom classes up to, you have to be able to look around in your peripheral vision and see who is not quite able to do something, or if they've just, you know, zoned out. Bring them back, engage them. And that's really important. But that's one thing about Parkinson Place is everybody is certified in their field. We're not caregivers teaching classes. We are not just, you know, somebody that said, hey, you know, I'd like to try to teach a fitness class. No, certification is very important. So we have the people that teach the dance for PD. And we also have people that teach things, you know, we have Angelo Domingo, who is our director of psychology of Parkinson Place. And last year, before COVID-19 hit, we also have our new medical director, is Dr. Ricardo Gonzalez. And he is one of the only fellowship trained movement disorder specialists that's a neurologist in our area. And I might add, we're very proud that he is bilingual. So that's a big thing, because communication is sometimes something that keeps people away from, it's a barrier to healthcare. You know, if somebody doesn't speak English, and Spanish is one of the fastest growing languages, we need to accommodate and we need to learn how to communicate. You know?
Most definitely. So is like Dr. Domingo doing televisits right now on behalf of Parkinson Place?
Yes, he is. He's actually using Google Duo,
Okay.
which is a great app. And so is Dr. Ricardo Gonzalez. He is also doing that. He is, they're both doing that because of the HIPAA concerns. So people need to know that their telemedicine calls are going to be private.
Yeah.
And they're booking just as, they're probably even busier than they were, particularly Dr. Domingo is, because we were talking about this the other day. A lot of people are suffering from PTSD of COVID-19. And then he works a lot with the Parkinson's community, and particularly for people that feel that they may be more vulnerable, but they're actually not. I've only one couple shared today with the group that you actually saw on there. She shared with them at the end, because we always do a chat after the classes, that she and her husband had COVID-19.
Okay.
And he's living with Parkinson's. And she told everybody what they went through. He was hospitalized for 8 days. They didn't want to let them have a room together. She was mortified. She said, but I'm his wife, and he doesn't communicate that well. He suffers from dementia to some degree. She finally got him home, and they're doing much better. They don't have it anymore, but she came on to share that. I said, would you mind sharing your story with the group? Because it offers hope. Just like when people come to our classes and they see all these people working out or talking, our men's and women's peer groups are doing so well. We have a men's peer group every Friday that we started a few months ago, and no women allowed, men only, and we have a women's one, no men allowed, because we felt that it was very important for somebody that was living with Parkinson's and gender specific to be able to go into a private setting and talk about what they were going through. And so once in a while, we'll bust one of the caregivers or the wives there in the men's group on the cell phone or something. And, we have to Judy, you can't be here. You got to go in the other room, because all these guys are talking about personal things and, sometimes not so much. But their topics have been very interesting. One of the topics was how to be prepared for an unexpected emergency visit. If you went unexpectedly to the ER room, what do you need with you? You're living with Parkinson's disease. What happens if you're not able to communicate? So we talked about all of these things, having a run bag. I know, having lived in New York during 9/11, I have a little bag, which I still have to this day, that has all of these things in it. Notes, things that I need, physicians' phone numbers, house contact numbers, best friend numbers. And if someone's living with PD, in that run bag on a plastic luggage tag, it should say, I'm living with Parkinson's disease, or I'm a Parkinson's patient.
Definitely.
Because that way they're not going to be given interactions of other medications or anything. So that's our men's and women's peer group. We are starting a young onset group. We're going to be doing young onset exercise later in the evening, because some people are still working, which is great. And then we also have, oh my gosh, there's so much to think of. Oh, Lori Babiak has taken over our Facebook and our social medias, which are doing incredibly well. And our website has been revamped, and it's still a work in progress, but it's user-friendly. Susan Belisi's still here, doing the Scoop, which is the magazine, the in-house magazine. But of course, because our members are not here yet, we've put it online, and Laurie was able to do it so that it's almost like, we like the feel of the paper. I mean, that's why we love Seniors Blue Book. We love to hold.
That's why I do what I do. Yes.
Exactly. So she made it so that when it's online, you turn the pages and you hear the turning of the page, which is great. Yeah, so we've had to reinvent ourselves a little bit, but I'm happy to say that everybody seems incredibly happy with what's going on. And we have a lot of smiling faces, the talks at the end. We had our town hall meeting yesterday, and that was something else that we felt was very important. It was bringing the whole team together and telling everybody who we are, because some people may have been away last year and may have just come back, introducing ourselves, our names, who we are, what we do at Parkinson Place, and maybe a little factoid about yourself, if you have animals or if you have children, and just something interesting. And we had 2 pages of Zoom people on there. It was crazy. There's 25 people per page.
Yeah.
It was very, very busy. And at the end, we opened it up for questions. And a couple of the questions were very interesting. One, of course, is, when are you going to reopen? And we all are in agreement that we will reopen when medical professionals, the CDC, World Health Organization, when it is science, research, and fact-based by those people, that it is safe to do so, because we will not be responsible for one person
Getting
contracting COVID-19 from here.
Yes. And is Parkinson's considered a comorbidity? I know they say those people at higher risk. Is that something they specifically has listed as a comorbidity?
There are comorbidities associated with Parkinson's disease. There are certain things like diabetes, perhaps heart disease. There are certain things that make you that make you more susceptible. Sure. But what I will say is, we had this conversation actually in class today, because I teach Tuesdays and Thursdays. I actually do a 1-hour, 11:30 fitness class, so they can exercise with me. And it's so cool, but they they're always asking about, like, what can we do to get healthier? And I always say to them, but you're doing everything. You show up for the classes. I see. I started with one person who just asked me if I could work out with her. And I said, I'll work out with you and I'll take a half-hour lunch. And then we had 6. And then I got in trouble because everybody thought I was teaching an underground fitness class that was,
Oh my God.
it was exclusive for these 6 women that just happened to, they told their friends. So I said, okay, we'll invite the guys in too. So we sent out an e-blast. Do you want to exercise with Alex? And here we are 7 weeks later. We are running out of the page. We're averaging, up to 30 people a workout
That
session.
does not surprise me. Your personality is infectious, and I know you make me feel happy.
I'm having a great time. I really enjoy it. But I've been teaching so long. It's just second nature, and the smiles are great. But they show up. So they're doing something that a lot of my friends that don't have Parkinson's don't do. A lot of my friends that used to go to the gym haven't been working out. They haven't been eating well.
Yep.
They have been neglecting themselves. Yet these guys have made more of an effort because they're more concerned about staying healthy and active and connecting. So they're doing everything right. I am less concerned about the people that I know and love living with Parkinson's than I am my friends that don't have Parkinson's.
Yeah. What does Brittany call it? The pandemic pounds, because everybody's been home stuffing their face.
So I wanted to tell you the other thing that I thought was really good that one of our members brought up during the town hall meeting. And this is something that we are really going to effort, but the steps are already put in place, and it couldn't be at a better time. And this is something I felt strongly about, and I know that Larry has as well, is about diversity. Because although we are open to everybody, not everybody comes here.
Yeah.
And we would like more people, the Latino community, the African American community, and other people of color, brown people, black people, pink, purple, green people, all people. We'd love to invite everybody in. And the way that we do that is we go to where people may be, and we reach out in the community. I know that I have a very good friend that was a professor who's just moved back to town, Elsie McCord. I'm going to be reaching out to him. Renee Gilmore is amazing. She's on ABC7. She took over when Dr. Ed James, who was very prominent and well-respected, he used to have Black Almanac, which was a show that was on every week, and he passed. And Renee Gilmore is his daughter, and she took over the show, but she's also very well known in the community and a wonderful woman. And so her show has reach, but she also has reach. And then, of course, we are not a very diverse community when it comes to getting people together. So we'll go into Newtown, and my barber is in Newtown. That's Mookie at Fatheads. I'm going to give him a shout out. Mookie James Buchanan. And I get my shave done there, and he's a hair artist. But you know what? It's like anything else. Anybody knows that if you want the word to get out there, you tell your hairstylist. So I know that when I tell Mookie that, and I've already mentioned it to him, but then COVID hit. So these are the ways to get out there. We have April Glasgow that runs Second Chance Last Opportunity, and she has helped a lot of people in the Newtown community. So what people may not know, they may not know about Parkinson Place because maybe some people in that community don't have funds. That, not saying that everybody there can't afford to do something, but some people that live there, which means if there's some people, they need to know that we are on the bus route.
Yeah.
Everything for when we reopen, everything we offer is free. If you have a cell phone, you can access us on Zoom, and we are friendly. There are no shenanigans here. Everybody welcome with open arms. So we're making a giant effort on that. And I think that that's incredibly important. And it couldn't be at a better time to make the push right now.
100% agree with you on that one.
Mm-hmm.
Just a little bit about you. I would love to know how long you've been at Parkinson Place, what got you there, what you worked on prior to, just so our audience has a feel for how you ended up with Larry, who's an amazing person, and we need to do a separate interview with him one day.
Yeah, he's pretty cool. All right, so I'm not going to go as far back as I can. I'll tell you a little factoid about myself that's kind of a fun factoid is I am an animal rescuer. So I know a lot of your viewers love their animals. I have two dogs. One is blind, one has one eye and kidney disease, and they've
Oh,
outlived all expectations. I have a senior cat, two doves, as in the flying kind, a bunny that I just adopted, and a racehorse. So
wow.
that's my family. Now, how did I come to Parkinson Place? Well, prior to Parkinson Place and the nonprofit I worked for before that, I was a health and medical journalist with both SNN, where I hosted a medical show, then health and medical journalist at SNN and ABC7. When I was out there in the community doing stories, I often would come across a study of Parkinson's disease or the benefits of exercise in Parkinson's disease. So I would call around and try to find a neurologist to speak to. And very often, people at these neurology clinics are the gatekeepers. They're like, oh no, he's too busy today. He doesn't have time. And I'm thinking, you could be reaching hundreds of people, thousands. You know, when someone's on TV as a
Yeah.
health and medical journalist, that's a huge thing. And they would shut me down. And I called Parkinson Place when I was doing Parkinson's search. And Larry HFheimer, when he first opened 7 years ago, said, I'd be happy to help you find someone. And he would always be my source. But he said to me, even if you don't mention Parkinson Place, call me, because it's important that we get the word out there and we help people. So 4 out of 5 times I wouldn't be able to talk about him, because when you do the news, it's not just about that person. It's about
Right.
information, and it's not a
Right.
commercial. So he would find me a neurologist. He would find me, maybe it would be the director of psychology department, which is Angelo Domingo, or maybe it would be anybody else that has to do with Parkinson's. And he would always find me, the most important part, somebody living with Parkinson's who would speak of their
Experience.
experience, right?
Yeah.
Because unless you are that person, you cannot know.
Yep.
And I, through the years, started to really respect him, but I also came to know this community. And I would volunteer once in a while or show up to some of the events just because I found it to be a happy place with a group of amazing people that every time I saw them showed me what they could do. They are a can-do group of people, amazing, and very interesting group. So when I worked for another nonprofit, I went off on my own and started my own PR company, and I was doing very well. I had 4 clients, 2 of them were huge. And then I found out that the woman that used to be Larry's right hand, Marilyn Tate, had unfortunately, unexpectedly passed. And I had interviewed Marilyn a few times as well, and she was absolutely lovely.
Dynamic, amazing lady. She really was.
She was. I called Larry the second I heard, and I heard before a lot of other people did. And I said to him, I would like to help. I can do whatever you need. I can help you with programming, because that's what she did primarily. I can help you find experts. I can help you with fundraising. I can help you with teaching some fitness classes, serving food, cleaning the floors, just coming and talking to people, because I knew people were going to be in shock. And he said to me, we should talk. And over the next few weeks, we talked and we talked. And he said, I think that if we have a meeting of the minds, that I would like you to come and be the CEO of Parkinson Place. And I didn't even hesitate. And I was having a rocking good time. I mean, don't get me wrong. I was enjoying, I had started my own company and it was like, but I didn't even think twice about it because I had seen the opportunity and I knew, and to this day, I mean, I started almost a year ago, it's flown by.
Yeah.
But I walk through the doors and we are just now back at work. But as you probably know, we walk around. I have a face shield. I have a mask. Nobody goes within 6 feet of each other. In all the common areas, we're wearing our protective gear because Larry's 83 years old. And although he's feisty and strong, he's strong like bull. I mean, this guy's amazing. But we are all going to protect him and protect each other. Whether we believe in it or not, it's about respect. It's about protecting each other, protecting ourselves. That's it. So it's been a year, and there's not been one day, Samantha, where I've walked through this door where I haven't smiled. It's like I've been in other positions where I've walked through the door, and we've all been in those jobs once in our life where our hearts sank. I walk through the doors, my heart soars. I love it. I love it.
It's a very positive place. Whenever I go there, you see tons of people working out or talking together, or there's always something engaging going on, and there's always a large group enjoying that. I do have to say the Parkinson group, crowd, whatever, are incredibly devoted. I'm always amazed at how many of them turn out at events and stuff. They're an amazing group of people. They really are.
They're tough.
Yeah.
Tough as nails.
Tough as nails. Yeah.
It's very cool. But I'm just very grateful. And also it's become like a family to me. Hey, that's the other thing. I am an only child. They all know this, but I'm an only child and my parents are both deceased. So my mother died when I was 27 and my father died about 15 years ago. I was a caregiver for both. I moved to Manhattan. My father was from London originally, but he ended up in Manhattan after living globally. And when he became ill, I went there, I took care of him. And my mother, the same thing. I was in Los Angeles. She was in Palm Springs. And I commuted 5 nights a week to be with her. But when they passed, one of my favorite sayings, and my best friend sent me a picture, it says, friends are the family you choose.
That's absolutely right. Yep.
So the way that I choose to spend my days, if I don't like something, I don't do it. Because you could not pay me $1 million to spend one day doing something I don't want to do. Because it is a day you cannot get back. It's time is everything. It's everything. So I think that most people, and the other thing is I choose to surround myself with positive people, and people living with Parkinson's disease, the ones that I've met at Parkinson Place are incredibly positive, but when they're having a bad day, they will enlist the help of others around them to help lift them up. And that's very important, is being able to say when you're having a hard time, but only surrounding yourself with people that are positive. You cannot have negative in your life. You have to get rid of those people that drag you down. It's sometimes hard to do.
Negativity spreads like COVID. It definitely does.
No, it does. But that's why I love you, because I always love seeing your smile. You have an infectious smile that you share it, and it's good, and you have great energy. And I just love the fact that you always give us a great platform to speak on. And I love the fact that you guys are going to get your books out there by hell or high water. I think it's a valuable resource, which is why we always participate in this. Because where else can you have this condensed version if you're a person of a certain age? Is there nothing you don't have in there?
No, there's pretty much a little bit of everything, and our website can give more, and our new website that's launching in July will have a blog and a variety of other things we don't even offer now. So I do miss the human interaction. Zoom has been great, but I definitely, a large part of what we do are events with both professionals like you and seniors themselves. I miss those days and I long to get back to them, but this has at least been a way to, like, when I see my people that I like, I smile and I feel at least we can infuse each other's lives with a little bit of that even during this. So that's all good.
How can the community at large help you guys? Because you guys do so much for the community. What would be your greatest wish? I mean, I know reopening, because right now, you have some places that have reopened, but what would be your wish list for three things? And then I'll tell you mine.
I would say it's most important that people share the information about us with other people. I really, people should not be making medical decisions in a crisis mode. The reason we create the book is to have a plan in place. So if you're at least familiar with the information, have it sitting on your nightstand. When God forbid something happens, and I don't want to say something's going to happen to everybody, but you and I both know that as we age too, my own parents, every week it's been something else. I have shingles, your dad has PMR. They went from being completely healthy to every day, like something new popping up now that they're 80 years old. It's just, it is what it is. And knowing about our resource is key, and sharing the information with others so they know. We do large events every year, and we always ask, how many of you are familiar with Seniors Blue Book? And out of a crowd of 400 people, 250 will raise their hand. Yes, that means all those other people never heard about it before.
Are you guys in the hospitals?
We are. We can also be found in every CVS and Walgreens. So that's been one essential business open that you can still go into and get a book. We have racks back by the pharmacy counter. But even like doctor's offices, which is a huge part of our distribution, they're not having people come into their waiting rooms. You have to wait outside in your car, and they don't want materials that could possibly have COVID. So we have decided to, with this next edition that will come out in August, we're going to direct mail to our age group that will need the information so they can still get their hands on it. And please know you'll always be able to get us in both CVS and Walgreens. But this is another way of getting out there, because we have a 1,700 location, including Parkinson Place, that we distribute to, that people can't go in and physically pick up a book right now. So we need to get these books into their hands. And then we've taken all of our interviews and things onto our social media, so we can still have the knowledge of all of our partners, such as yourself, talking to our audience. So knowing the books are in CVS and Walgreens, sharing information, and letting people know that it's so important. Like, I'll have people walk up to me and go, oh no, I don't need that now. 90-year-old people. That's great. And I'm glad you think you're in perfect health, but it's better to be prepared than unprepared. So all supporting each other and knowing what's available is key.
Hey, this was great. I hope you remember to hit the record button.
It's recording. It's recording.
Okay. I would say that the one thing that we never have talked about until now, that we need at Parkinson Place, is we are a community resource. And until we became a 501c3, we never asked for anything. We have a small staff of people that would die for this place. I mean, we all love it here. And so what I would say is for the community to now start supporting us, because everything we offer at Parkinson Place is free to all. The caregivers, the men's and women's peer groups, the fitness classes, the art classes, the singing classes. And try as people may, sometimes you just can't bottle this place. You cannot bottle a feeling. You cannot bottle what we've done with Zoom, the production qualities, the way that we've gotten our people to be able to connect with each other. So it's unusual. And I would say that if you care about people living with Parkinson's, or if you wanted to support people living with Parkinson's and their loved ones, parkinsonplace.org, whether it's a small monthly gift of $19 a month, or if you wanted to make a one-time donation of $100 or $1,000 or $1 million, so we can be self-sufficient for a while. Or if you're watching from Philadelphia and you'd like one there. This is the kind of thing, because now with Zoom, this has increased our reach. You know,
Yes.
we had frequency and we have the people, but we didn't have the reach. So now we know how to get people engaged on the reach. And that has just opened up our whole model. So out of everything bad,
That came out of it good. Yeah.
you have to look for something good. There's always something.
Yeah. And I too feel like, a lot more people have seen our SVB lives than we can accommodate in, because we do regular classes even at Parkinson Place where we assemble experts to come in and talk to their members. So at least we've been able to do them on social media because we can't be in Parkinson Place, but it has expanded our reach as well. I don't think everything will go back to the way it was before. A lot of new things will continue, and it will be our new normal, as they say. And those will be positive things we gain from this.
I think it will go back a little bit to what it was. Maybe not exactly the same,
Yeah.
but I think we're going to be close. I think we just have to wait for either a vaccine to come out or the treatment, that people can take. But, or maybe we just send everybody under the age of 50 somewhere else. No,
Yeah.
I'm kidding. But yeah, no, I think it's all going to work out. It's these guys they've seen worse. They've seen things happen before, and some people. I mean, look, we've been through a lot. Some people are old enough that they were in a war or two, the Holocaust. I mean, there's been things that have been very, very bad.
Yeah, I noticed the sign at Robarts Arena said something like, "Your parents were called to war and gave their lives. You're asked to sit on the TV. I think you can do it."
Yes.
And I thought to myself, yes, that's absolutely right. Like, we're all complaining, but are we in a war? We're lucky that we're in the comfort of our own home. This
Right.
isn't ideal, but we are still living a good life. So,
Oh yeah,
and Zoom has helped instrumentally.
it has.
So, where is Parkinson Place located? And please know all this will be typed under the video for people to refer to, but go ahead and tell us your location for when you do reopen.
For when we do reopen, the address is 5969 Cattleman Boulevard, Cattle Ridge, and we are Suite 101. We are the corner building. I would say that the building lies at the corner, pretty much right behind Miller's Ale House.
Okay.
It is opposite Doctors Hospital of Sarasota. So you think Bee Ridge and Cattleman. And Cattle Ridge is an offshoot. It's where the tax office is, in case you want to know. So we're right there. And when we reopen, we can accommodate hundreds of people. We are a 9,000 square foot facility. We have our medical director, although we are not a clinic. I always say we're not a clinic and we're not a hospital. In fact, we look nothing like a clinic or a hospital, because living with Parkinson's, it's the last place you want to be, is at another place that feels like a hospital or a rehab facility. This is like Cheers and the Y, but everybody
I was going
knows
to
your
say
name.
it is like a Y type setting.
Yeah. Everybody just happens to have Parkinson's. That's all. It's great. It's an amazing place. So everything we do, again, is free, and you can just show up. You have to join, but you join for free. You either fill out a form when you come here, but I would encourage people right now to go online, because you can actually fill out a membership form online. No personal questions, and it's very private. And that way you can participate in our Zoom classes and everything else that we offer.
Which is a ton, and I highly encourage you, and I'll even put a link to join right under the video as well.
Perfect.
So, Miss Alex Redmond, thank you so much for joining us on Nonprofits Week. Parkinson Place is an amazing place, people. I encourage you to check it out online right now and in person in the future. We will be back later this week with ITN as one of our other nonprofits that we are showcasing. So have a wonderful week, everybody, and thank you, Alex, for joining us.